Absolutes. Absolutes. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely... We can't have fabulous because that's taken. I got a notebook.
Yeah.
From the store because I buy things from stores, so they brought me a nice.
What store?
Present. Oh, well, they're in Bishop Stortford, so they named the company store. They're a supplier, a trade supplier of raw materials.
Okay.
So they came round. Emma and Radia came round, and we smelt a load of interesting things.
Oh yeah, go on then.
Okay.
Are they absolutes though?
No.
So we're gonna let's do the absolute
video.
video, and then we'll come back to smelling these.
Let's do that. Yes, one or two of them are absolutes. Well, we'll smell the vanilla because I've got another vanilla here.
So
we can decide which is better.
What's an absolute?
Well, an absolute is a natural material, an NCS, a natural complex substance, which has been extracted in a certain way, and it's solvent extracted. It's not distilled. So essential oils are distilled,
which is
hot. That's the thing about it, is they can be, they have to be heated up in order to get the aromatic materials kind of break out of them, and then they're collected. So if lavender is distilled, for example, and I've seen it happen, and there you get your 15 tons of whatever, no, can't be that much, anyway, a lot, shed load of lavender in this great big still, steam distillation, so hotter than 100 degrees to make steam. It's a water vapour if you can see it. Steam is invisible. That hot, and that kind of forces the aromatic materials out of the plants, and then they're collected.
On a distilling plate or something.
I could put
we'll do this in the distilling in the distillation video.
Yes.
So this is
it's separated out from the water. You get lavender water as well, because the steam that comes out is lavender scented, and then you get the oil, the essential oil, separate from that. So they're separated out, and that's collected in the big buckets.
I bet that room smells amazing.
Oh yeah. It wasn't even a room. It was open. It's like a covered shed, like a barn with no walls in, and the whole area smelled amazing. Do you like my voice today, by the way?
Go on.
I'm down all these octaves because also snivelly, bit snivelly.
So an absolute as opposed to...
Well, some materials you can't do that with because nothing could be collected. It would just all evaporate, and nothing then forms as a liquid. Some plants are too delicate to do that too. So instead what you do is put them into a solvent. It used to be lard. I actually used to use pig fat. At the moment it's benzene, I think. No, hexane, but it's still not very nice material. And
what do you mean not very nice?
Oh, the whole production, biodegradability, it's not green.
Okay.
But there's a new secret. They haven't told me what it is, but there's a new biodegradable material solvent being used to extract absolutes. So the plants are then put in that, and that soaks up all the aroma, and then they put another lot in, and another lot, until it's got as much in there as it possibly can. Then there are another few processes it goes through. The material that comes out tends to be a lot more solid. It's got a lot more of the colour in it. So lavender absolute is dark green. Lavender essential oils, just light green, hardly any colour there. But
and so then they extract the smell from the solvent that it's in. Yeah,
basically you have to then get rid of the solvent and wash it away with ethanol.
Right.
Depending on the material itself, there are several different processes, the names of which I can never remember. So, but so this is a new material. Well, it's new to me. Material from Firmenich. Oh, it's not that new. It's from 2022. It says on the box. They must have had some left over. But this is vanilla planifolia infusion. It says.
It smells woody. It smells very woody and not very creamy.
Mm.
It's more like a cedar atlas than it is.
You're not wrong. It does really smell much more. It doesn't smell like cake, does it? It's not
No.
that kind of vanilla at all.
No, but it's still vanilla, but it's just, yeah, it's like, yeah.
It doesn't smell pure, it smells as if it's been blended with other woods. But, yeah.
I'm also getting a little bit of sort of a cognac-y sort of thing out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I could even imagine it's tobacco-y. When you were in the Atlas Mountains just now then, talking of cedar, did you smell the Atlas trees?
No, but there was a herb that I kept smelling. I don't know what it was, and I couldn't find it. I kept smelling it, and then I'd go to try and find what the thing was I smelled, and I couldn't find it. But it smelled wonderful.
Okay.
Thanks.
On the subject of absolutes, I thought what I'd go with is the vanilla pompona, which comes from Peru, which I've just bought.
Yes, I love when this came in.
Now, there's a thing about absolutes, and people often don't start by using absolutes in their perfumery, and I'll give you a hint why. Do you know why? You can probably guess why.
Too expensive.
Yeah, this stuff is not a bad price for vanilla, but this is £8,000 a kilo.
A kilo.
Whereas the vanillin that I've got, and this is 95% vanillin and 5% other more interesting things, like things that smell tobacco and woody. The vanillin I have is £25 a kilo.
Yeah, wow.
And it's technically natural because it's made from pine trees, but there are sort of two ways into starting perfumery, I would say. And one is the people who have come from the sort of very techie side and have looked up GCMS analysis and seen list of different aroma chemicals. And thought, right, I need to buy those, put them all together in those proportions, and that'll make me that perfume. And then there are the others who come to it from either the aromatherapy route, which uses lots of essential oils, and then thinking, why doesn't this smell like a perfume? And having to discover the aroma chemicals. Or from the buying expensive perfumes route, when people are told, this is made from the finest possible natural ingredients.
Yeah.
You know, and people say, oh, rose absolute, jasmine absolute, vanilla absolute, tobacco absolute, and so people think, oh, I'm going to need absolutes to make my perfume. And of course the reality is usually somewhere in the middle of that. But I mean, for example, the first time Sam Mesa came here, and he was already running his YouTube channel and doing formulas, and he'd never smelt rose absolute because he'd never bought any.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing all right now with his, you know,
Yeah.
he's like he can afford his own absolutes.
Yeah.
But way back then, when he first came to visit, you know, Auntie Sarah of the perfume community, he's not smelt absolutes because they were just too much of. He was still, I think, he might have still been a student, and it was just, you know, not possible to go shelling out and things like that. So, yeah. They get more similar.
Yeah.
The longer one waits.
Well,
so.
especially if you do this.
Especially. Arthur, first of all, we've had a request for you to be seen. You should come around here and show, like, really, on screen with your groovy clothes on.
There we go.
That's what he does.
Yeah, just play with my strips.
Thank you. Yeah. One day we're going to have to get you back over here.
A multi-cam setup.
Oh yeah, we should do that.
We could do that.
Like Richard Osman and Marina Hyde.
Yeah, like that.
Except with not quite so many million viewers.
The problem is, if you put the camera on, if I know that I'm on camera, I'm going to just start playing silly buggers.
Okay, well you can play silly buggers and we don't look at them. So, vanilla absolute. Do you, when you start making perfume, use it? Do you invest, or do you use vanillin? I'd say get the hang of making perfumes with vanillin, then it's a bit like if you learn to ride a motorbike and you pass your test on a scooter, or something like a 125cc. That used to be what we do in my day. You don't, on the day that you pass your test, then buy a Ducati and expect to live.
Right. I don't know what that is, but
it's a big fast motorbike.
Yeah.
A big fast Italian, beautiful. They make lovely noises.
Yeah.
I was sorely tempted, but I would have died.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually much better to say you pass your test, you get an idea, and then you ride about a bit on a thing with a small engine that you can control, that when you stop it's not too heavy so it doesn't fall over. And then later you get something, once you've actually got good at it, then you scale up. That is my suggestion.
Yes, like an absolute would be wasted on you if you didn't know what you were doing with it.
Well, I think so. I mean, I don't like waste, as you know, Arthur. Waste is one of the things that I like least. Waste of anything. Time, money, food. No, okay, absolutes that aren't expensive. Labdanum. Labdanum is an absolute which is... yes, labdanum absolute. If it's in a big bottle, it's a hint. And there isn't a labdanum. Is it a labdanum essential oil? There might be, but it's not as nice. It's like a Popanax. The absolute is much nicer. Some of these resins, they're too
So
sparky.
is a resin is another method of extraction? Oh no, right. A resin is what it is.
Yeah, resin is what it is, and then it's turned into an absolute by the same method, but you get a much bigger yield.
Yeah.
So if you get a big yield from it, it's not complicated to do, then it's not going to be as expensive.
Figgy pudding. I'm just getting Christmas pudding from that.
Put it with the vanilla. So, yes, they're very rich absolutes. They tend to they form a good strong centre of. I'm trying to think of a metaphor. It's if I'm thinking about my band, it's probably the bass player. But this is it's a slightly odd absolute. This one,
This looks opaque.
Yeah, this one's.
Oh, lavender.
Yeah, it is. I have another lavender absolute. This one's from Bulgaria, and to be honest, it shouldn't be this opaque. The person who produced it there has not really. I think they really needed to do a couple of stages of it a little bit more. What should I say? Technically, proficiently. It smells great.
It smells amazing.
Yeah. So this is a lavender. The lavender absolute lasts longer. Usually, absolutes are more expensive than essential oils. Almost always.
Do you think lavender is the I'm trying to think, emperor of all smells over rose?
Well, I don't. I'd probably put rose as I don't really like imperial concepts.
No, I didn't mean. I mean, like the winner.
Yeah, the guiding light, the inspiration. I will still go with rose. Some people think jasmine. I know. That's not me.
Ylang-ylang.
I think you can get Lang Lang Absolute as well. There was never jasmine essential oil, but now apparently somebody's managed to produce it.
All right.
Hang on. Lavender. Talking of, there are some absolutes that smell just like the flower they've come from, and there are some that just don't, because you can't get an accurate representation of that plant from what's left. Some of it just escapes into the atmosphere. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
So this is your jasmine, which does smell just like walking past a jasmine plant.
Gosh, that's really nice, that, isn't
Nice,
it?
isn't it? It is. It's a good one. Where'd I get this one? J.C. Buck, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. So...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you don't need a lot, which is fortunate, because it's quite heavily restricted, because it is quite a skin sensitizer.
Right.
But somebody wrote to me once who they begged me could she have some, because she had very bad arthritis, and she said it was the only thing she had that stopped her knees hurting.
What, she rubbed it on her knees, did she?
Yeah, I took Jasmine Absolute. I let her have some diluted to 5%, which is her choice. I gave it to her. I can't sell it to her because I'm a member of IFRA, and that's not. I've signed up to say no, I can't do that. I could only let her have it at 0.6%. But she was in such pain, and she said it worked, and it worked for her. It does have some very interesting properties, jasmine. It's supposed to be an aphrodisiac.
So is everything.
Yeah, as you know. But I actually think that one might be. But not a pheromone, which is why I was on Radio 4.
I read about
That's
the following compound, the following ingredient.
Yeah, go on.
It's called. You'll know it. Androstadienone.
Oh, yeah.
Androstadione.
Androstadione. There were a couple of them.
Yeah.
No.
It is for pigs.
Yeah. That's either one of the ones that's for pigs, or it's one of the ones that does exist in human sweat but doesn't necessarily appear to have any function. The whole thing's quite. The story is quite complicated, but it comes from a sort of 1990s conference when the company that made these things ran an almost. I mean, they said they had like men in suits and sunglasses guarding the doors on it. They presented a paper that said these things showed that there were putative pheromones, and it was a very dodgy paper. It's never been replicated, but there have been 56 other papers since that cited it because it was the only one, and everybody's interested in that stuff, trying to find a shortcut. But the whole pheromone thing, which is it's the advertisements for pheromone perfumes are truly horrible. They're like, oh, this you can get success with women. Like you think if you look closely at what that means, it's not nice.
No, it's not.
nice.
No,
it's not. It's not good. It's not a good.
It's not a good message. No.
No. Yeah. So, but no, it's just one of those things which costs a lot of money, and
well, it's coercion, isn't it? Really.
Well, that's effectively what they're saying in these advertisements. It's like against their will, you will make women. I mean, they're talking about the equivalent of Rohypnol as a fragrance. That's what people. That's why people buy it, which is horrid.
Yeah.
But what it actually does, because it doesn't work in that way. What it does, it gives people some confidence to feel like they. So it sort of has a placebo effect. They feel like they are. They'll go out and think, well, tonight's going to be great because I'm irresistible.
Yeah.
And actually, people, if they feel like they are, so long as it doesn't go over the, well, I'm irresistible, so what you going to do about it?
Yeah.
That we don't want to talk about. But, hey, I think I'm feeling pretty irresistible today.
Yeah.
It might just make people a bit more interesting to hang around than the ones who go, my life is shit, I am shit.
Yeah.
Everything's shit, I don't even want to be here.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to really... I know there might be some... No, actually, there's all the other people who feel like that might hang around with them as well.
Exactly, yeah.
So I don't really... But yes, talking about waste, don't waste your money and don't buy that stuff.
No, don't.
This, however...
Do you know what this is giving me, seriously?
Tell me.
It's giving me that lovely overtone that Marmite has. Like the bit of Marmite that just makes you want to eat it with a spoon.
This is like the ultimate umami.
Oh, it really is.
Do you know what it is?
I'm gonna hazard a guess.
Colour is a
Cocoa
clue.
Absolute.
It is Cocoa Absolute. Oh yeah. Because chocolate with no sugar is completely different from no milk, no sugar, just Cocoa Absolute.
I brought some cacao back from Latvia. There was a lovely cacao cafe in Latvia, so I brought some ceremonial grey cacao back.
Right.
It's very bitter. That's literally all the story is.
Yeah. I think ceremonial grade is pretty much the same as any grade.
Ceremonial grade.
This is definitely
I
ceremonial
think
grade.
you'll find
So we have
ceremonial
ceremony.
grade is more expensive.
Oh, of course, extra added ceremony.
It's not the... yeah.
Sorry.
This is really good, this.
Yeah. This is coronation grade. This is like top ceremony.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I asked my my community on Enthusiasm, what's the weirdest one you've got? And somebody's got like artichoke absolute.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I
I
know.
want to smell that.
I'm not-
Can you get them to send you some?
Well, I suspect probably Harrison Joseph might stock the weirdest of things, and maybe I'll just get.
So, where did your communities where on Patreon?
This is the one that we are talking about. Yeah, very soon the actual course will be back up.
So,
Enthusiasm.school is going to be up soon, but Enthusiasm on Patreon, that is where you will find the community.
and people can join it in all sorts of different tiers.
They can.
They can.
And the lovely Sinead, who is working with me on writing stuff, getting my life sorted out. Because, you know, the trouble is that because I like writing, I sort of want to do it all myself, but can't do everything. The trials of trying to run a small business. So Sinead's actually, she read it and she couldn't work out what the heck you're supposed to do when you see the front page, which is obviously a barrier to joining, so she's going to sort it out.
I can't smell that.
It is there, but it's taking a while to get off the strip. But if I were to head you in the direction of slicing a loaf and then sniffing it,
I can't smell it.
you're not getting any bran. It is very, it is quite backgroundy, but it's like wheat germ. Think wheat germ.
Okay, yeah.
If you opened a bag of it, if you were going to be, I don't know, doing goujons or something or other.
This might be a. This might have fallen to the winter sinuses.
All right, it's on its way off the strip at the moment.
Yes, I can smell it. It smells like the scent strip itself, but I don't think that's it. I feel like I'm smelling paper.
It does smell quite papery now. You come to say. But yeah, so there are many of these lovely things. What would we use them for? For giving sort of structure. Talking about the difference between you have got the winter.
I have now.
Oh dear.
It's just come upon me.
Am I making that happen?
Maybe.
No. Maybe it's the flight. See, I got my cold flying out to Sweden.
Oh my goodness! I flew back in the storm. I've never had a landing like it.
Oh, have you? You probably never watched it. Big Jet TV. Oh my God, we were watching it practically all day Saturday and Sunday. We were just watching those things land.
I love Big Jet TV.
Oh my God, isn't he great?
When he's like, oh, they almost pranged it. They almost pranged it. And when he says prang, he means it crashing and killing everyone inside.
Yeah.
He's going, oh, nearly pranged it.
I love watching Big Jet TV. Yeah. Yeah, and the pilots actually get in touch with him because he sort of knows who's. They tell him which planes they're in, and so he'll be like chatting to them, and then.
Well, when we landed,
yes,
the captain went, "Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did," because of course he was having a great time.
Wow.
I bet. I bet they're like, "This is
some of them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, all the same, I mean, some of them came down sideways.
Yeah.
Some of them pulled straight out again. Yes, as we were watching it. So one British Airways plane, just mild diversion, actually they touched down one set of wings, one set of wheels, realised it wasn't going to happen, just went round again. One Emirates one went round twice.
Wow.
It was, Storm Dara. This one is another very difficult one to pick up.
I can smell it. This is... I don't know. It's honey.
It's beeswax, absolute, yes.
Beeswax, absolute.
Uh,
Oh yeah, I know that.
CB. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do the one mother. One mother?
So...
Yes, just like why do we... Yes.
So here we go. Here's
yes.
something practical for people.
Go
I
on.
know it's all a taste thing, but if I was to come to you as one of your students,
Yeah.
one of your Senthusiasm students, either on senthusiasm.school or on Patreon, I'll say, Sarah, I've got some money and I want one absolute. And I can only afford one absolute. I want one. Which one shall I get?
Well, it has to be labdanum, but then when you get that, you can probably afford some of the others. Because labdanum is not expensive and you really do need it because there isn't anything else that you can replace it with. Nobody makes labdanum, I don't think, labdanum replacement material. If you're going to make proper ambers, you've got no choice.
Okay, so I've got my labdanum. Thank you for that. But actually, that wasn't very expensive. I've got some more money. What else shall I get?
Well, I would point you in the direction of this.
Rose.
Yes. Because it's so useful. A little bit of natural rose in something, even if you can't tell that it's there, for me, it just brings it to life. The perfume has magical powers that will one day be explained by physics. I was just reading a book about how, what was it? It's a novel about how if you go so far into science, it turns into magic. Or and eventually you get so far that the science starts to explain what people thought was magic.
Yeah.
So that's what I believe about absolutes is that if people put the work in, they will explain how it is that absolutes make perfumes. They're full of emotional triggers that I don't think the synthetics can replace. Well, there are many absolutes I don't have. I used to have vetiver absolute, I ran out. There's patchouli absolute that's lovely. But this rose, yes.
Great.
Yeah, but they are luxurious in terms, but what can I say? It's like, yeah, labdanum followed by rose.
Yeah.
Done. Then jasmine. Tobacco.